welcome back to Good Day State Line. We love having Tim Mahoney stop by the studio tonight. We're having a little fun. We've been doing this. So Wednesday's game day, but we've been like double upping on the games.
I love that I get to come in and I have no idea what's going to happen and we just show up. And I feel like an anchor today.
Yes.
You know, stay classy,
Standing.
Rockford. All right, here we go.
All right, so we are playing a game where we're going to see a photo of a celebrity. I think these are all men who have played lawyers in some sort of television or movie situation. So we'll see if you know anything about them.
Okay, great. Here we go.
All right, let's see number one. Okay, do you know who this guy is?
I'm not going to remember his actual name. He was in LA Law. He was the divorce lawyer in LA Law.
So he is
Corbin Burnson.
Yes. And I feel like he was in a Disney movie or something, or else I wouldn't know who he is. So his lawyer name was Arnie Becker.
There you go.
Do you know anything about him in the show? Like,
He
do you remember the
he
show?
was single. He was a ladies' man. Drove a Porsche. He did finally end up getting married. Oh yeah, we all watched. LA Law was on when I was in law school, so
Okay.
we watched
Oh,
it
so it's
faithfully
big deal.
every Thursday night. Yes. So he finally did decide he was going to get married, but he like cheated with somebody on the night that he was supposed to
Sounds
marry.
about right.
Yeah, something like that. He was the sleazy divorce attorney, but he was really good at his job, and he was very good at producing income.
Did
which
you
the firm
feel like
liked.
that show was like realistic?
No.
If you okay.
No, but it
Just
was
for
a
all
lot
of us non-lawyers.
It was a lot of fun. You know the most realistic show that has ever been on television about a courtroom? Judge Wapner.
Okay.
That was an actual judge who did small claims court. Remember, courtrooms are very different depending upon what type of case it is.
Sure.
And Judge Wapner was a small claims judge in court in California, I think, and ended up in that show is a pretty typical small claims courtroom. Two people come up, they say their sides. You know, if you're a judge in a small claims courtroom, you got to really be on your toes because anything can pop up at any time. You know, this is a bailment case, this is a contract case, and you've got to remember what all that stuff is. And there's no time for to tell a lawyer. Judges don't know; they just tell the lawyers, "Hey, do a brief on that and tell me what that's all about." And then they make the lawyer do all the work. So.
All right, let's see if you can get the second one. This is the one I actually know. Except, I mean, I guess he's a pretty old guy. Do you know who this is?
That's
I don't even know if he's still alive.
No, he isn't. He isn't alive. That's that's the movie about discrimination. To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes, Gregory Peck.
Gregory
Atticus
Peck. To Kill a
Finch.
Mockingbird.
I mean, I read the book. I watched the movie, but it's been a while. I got nothing else to say about that.
I said enough about the prior one.
All right,
so,
let's see number 3. If you need some help, that's Joe Pesci.
Oh, I didn't notice that was Joe Pesci.
Me either.
So my cousin Vinny.
Yes.
And he played. You blend.
It says he played Vinny Gambini.
Vinny Gambino. Yes.
So is the movie about him?
Yes.
I know what's her name.
Oh, you never saw the movie?
No, but she won an Oscar.
She won Best Supporting
Marissa Tomei.
Actress. Marissa Tomei did. It's a lovely movie. He's fantastic in it. It's a great story. She's, of course, phenomenal. That's why she won the Academy Award for, to win an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in a comedy is pretty rare. And no, it's a beautiful movie. You get a chance to watch it this weekend. It's hilarious.
Well, it's very
and
cold
very
out
well
still,
done.
so still movie weather.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
That's the Addams Family. That's
Is
the guy
he a
from
lawyer?
the Addams Family. I have no idea where he was a lawyer.
It says Gomez Addams.
Yeah.
I just remember. Were they was he a lawyer?
I have no clue.
We're gonna have to look at that.
All right,
I
we're
mean, it
gonna
must
look
be.
at that. It's worth a Google.
That's what Emily said. Yeah. All right, number 5. This is a more recent show. This is Josh Charles. Do you know who he is?
This is probably an SVU guy, right? I don't
No,
ever watch
it's from
that.
The Good Wife. I think my mom watched it for a while.
Yeah.
We can go to the next one.
Thanks. Didn't get that one.
Number 6. The next one is
That's Tim Mahoney. He's a lawyer.
Tim Mahoney's a lawyer. This
That's
guy's
Matthew McConaughey.
very famous.
And he was a lawyer in the guy whose daughter was killed. It was Samuel L. Jackson. His daughter was killed, and then he killed the person who killed his daughter, but also ended up shooting a police officer and crippling him. This is when Matthew McConaughey kind of launched himself as really a great actor, and he really was. He was fantastic in the movie. And
the book too, I think. Right? John Grisham?
Yeah. Was it a Grisham book?
I don't know,
Sounds
it's
like
A Time to Kill.
It's A Time to Kill. Sorry.
Yeah. Which I think is a John Grisham book, because I think my mom has it. She used to read them all. Number 7, I know this is a very famous guy and a very famous movie.
Tom Hanks, and the movie where he played a lawyer was in Philadelphia.
Yes, that's one of his
the
biggest.
first movie about AIDS, and he was in a very highfalutin law firm in Philadelphia and hid the fact that he was homosexual because they would have never allowed him to be in the firm. And then he got AIDS and they found out about it and fired him, and he hires Denzel Washington to be his attorney to represent him in prosecuting that case. And it was really a cutting edge movie because it was this was back when there were certain politicians who were saying we shouldn't be doing research on AIDS because it's God's way of killing.
Sure.
That was a school of thought in a portion of the country at the time. So it was a very progressive movie, which is typical from Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington.
Well, now you gotta,
won the Academy Award.
Yeah,
and
all very well-loved movies. And now if you're cold this weekend, you don't want to go do anything, Tim Mahoney says you can watch some of these movies. You can find him at Mahoney'sGotYourBack.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Always great to be here.
We'll be right back with some budgeting tips so you can eat healthfully but also not spend too much.